Welcome to Most Moto Mindset of Successful Thinking. Moto short for motivation. We are here with the illustrious Ashley Northington from DENOR Brand and Public Relations. Ashley Northington, people. Welcome, Ashley.
Okay, I love the clap. I love it.
Yeah, no, so we don't have the app to add it in.
Okay, so we'll just do it ourselves. Got it. We're our own studio audience.
And
love it.
And we have Rochelle back there.
Rochelle.
And she can clap it in with us. There we go. Yeah, so we got a whole studio audience. This has been recorded in front of a studio audience. But no, so look, welcome to Most Moto Mindset of Successful Thinking. Moto short for motivation. And today on our Moto Moment Wednesday interview, we have Ashley Northington from DENOR Public Relations. So I want to make sure she gets to introduce herself and tell a little bit about her before we dive into the 3 P's she want to discuss today. See, this thing about when you deal with people that's A-type or people that's actually successful in life, they already got their mind already made up what they're gonna talk about today. So we're gonna go ahead and get to that part because she got look, Rochelle like, am I the only one? But see the thing about these interviews, we want to actually just, really focus on individuals from the Most Moto community, and really just want to see what people are doing outside of just being a part of the group, but actually see what they're doing daily, what motivates them, what keeps them inspired. Ashley is a person I truly adore, that I'm actually thankful. We used to be classmates at Tennessee State. And
the illustrious and esteemed Tennessee State
The
University.
Illustrious and esteemed, down by the Cumberland.
In the land of golden sunshine.
Oh yeah, so she got the whole
by
thing.
the Cumberland's photo shore.
So she's the one at graduation that actually knew the whole song. I was the one that was just going along with the motto or whatever. So the good thing is, think, work, serve, right?
Yes. That's what we do. We think, we work, and we serve.
And we serve.
We have the spirit of service embedded within our souls. We absolutely do.
She is like the Spike Lee of business.
Oh my gosh, Spike Lee of business. That's interesting.
She definitely get a lot of people involved.
That's a new one.
Getting people into business. Everybody you have here working with you from Tennessee State, minorities in a sense, but they're actually people that's aspiring to be business people, successful. Rochelle, you think you also want to be successful too? Want to be your own business owner? Maybe not. You don't see her yet. We don't have the crew to pan around to see her. One day we will have that. So let's get to talk to Ashley. Ashley, tell us a little bit about you, please, and inspire the Most Moto community.
Well, sure. So again, as Troy said, I'm Ashley Northington, and I am the agency director and founder of DENOR Brands and Public Relations, where we really focus on connecting brands with audiences to help them develop deeper relationships with the folks they want to serve. And ultimately, those relationships will lead to a positive change in a public policy, a program, or a partnership. And so we really do public relations, branding, and marketing strategy. We're a marketing communications firm, but we really focus on how we can shift the needle and change the conversation so that we inform, inspire, and influence audiences.
So we can definitely know she sat in the mirror and practiced that.
I didn't.
A couple of times. Because that girl, she said it so fluently and so clean. But let me tell y'all something about this too. I mean, Ashley is one of those people that like I said before, I admire. I like her ethics, her work ethic. Just seeing her work this morning in her office, which is a nice, illustrious office. In this area. I mean, just to see her make things happen and move, it's a beautiful thing to see, especially someone that you knew from when you were younger. When we were at Tennessee State and she was actually doing the newspaper at Tennessee State. And I met her then, and she encouraged me then and inspired me at that point, and I'm glad we get to know each other, keep up with each other now.
Yes.
Today what we're talking about is really focusing on branding in general, and what better person to have speak on branding is than Ashley, the public relations guru, right?
Sure.
Because, like we talked about before in Most Moto is that, we're all brands. Every time we get up every day, what we're doing, people looking at us, and we're actually branded. We're our own brand and how we carry ourselves. And how we carry ourselves is what people are going to see.
Sure.
Right? Mm-hmm. So you like McDonald's, or you see McDonald's sign down the street, you automatically think, Big Mac or something like that.
Sure.
Or when you think about a person, when you see someone that say BSer or something like that, when you see them,
absolutely.
You may know that. So we're all a brand. A friend of mine, Andrina, your favorite Andrina, she says about, what brand are you carrying? What do you have on you? People normally are calling you certain things at times because of what they see. So my question is, and my question I pose to everyone else is, what brand are you carrying? How are you branding yourself? So I want Ashley to talk about how that actually correlates into life itself too. And she's going to get into the 3 Ps that she talked about this morning before we got on the air, about the 3 Ps in general. So tell us a little bit about that, putting that into perspective.
So I'd like to first start out, what's a brand, right? So most of the time when folks are talking about branding, whether it be a personal brand or a business brand, it seems to, let me back up even a step
Back
further.
it up some. Okay, back it thing up.
Brand has become a buzzword. Every time I turn around, someone is talking about they're building a brand. And then when I double click it and try to find out what does brand mean to you, what we find is that people are talking about, it's what my Instagram, somebody that's really popular on social one day said that you can build a brand on Instagram. Indeed, you cannot build a brand on social media. That's a myth.
You can't?
No, and
because
we're gonna get into it.
Because you are who you say you are. What you well, you're not. No, you're right. Because
I'm about to get into it.
Okay, get into it then. Go ahead.
And so brand is not what you put on social media. A brand is not what you put on a website.
Okay.
It's not what's on your business card. It's not a logo that you slap on a wall, right?
Which is a nice logo she slapped on the back here. Nice.
A brand, I break it down into a science. So a brand for me is a mathematical formula, right? And it's really easy.
All right.
So successful brand equals engaging stories. So engaging storytelling plus dynamic visuals multiplied by consistent, persistent action. That is a brand. And so
say that over again, because I lost that formula. I need to write that down. And I'm gonna go back.
Yeah, I have a handout for you. I'll give it to you before we
That's
leave.
what I'm talking about.
So successful brand equals an engaging story. So the narrative that you talk about yourself, talk about your business, what other folks say about you. So an engaging story.
Right.
Plus dynamic visuals. Okay. So what you look like.
So you are putting this in perspective of personal. Okay, yeah, I like it. Look how she looks.
Multiplied by consistent and persistent action.
Right.
That for me is a successful brand.
Okay.
And so anybody that's ever come in contact with me and talked about this, they know that I live by this mantra that I have created called live your brand. And so for me, living your brand is about actually being, acting, embodying who you say you are and what you look like, or what you put out, right?
Yeah.
So it's all about talking your talk and walking your walk, or really walking your talk.
So you truly can't build on Instagram then, because
you cannot build on Instagram.
It's a lot of individuals that's actually talking about it, but they're not walking, right?
Yeah, it's just made up.
Yeah,
it's not real.
My wife was watching the show yesterday. This guy was on that Kardashian workout show, Chloe show. And he was talking
Revenge Body.
Yeah, Revenge Body. And this guy was talking about how he was, he got a secret, and he's on the internet looking like a, fashion guru.
Sure. And don't have 2 nickels to rub together.
And then what happened is he's go to these places, these stores, put on outfits, take the pictures and then take it off. But you truly though, actually, you probably can build a brand online. It may not be the right brand though.
Brand has to be authentic. Brand can't be fluff.
Okay.
Because see, it's another B word.
Okay,
if it's not real, I can't say it. It's a bad word.
Oh, it's a bad word.
It's not a brand. It's just bull.
Oh, got it. Bull shenanigans. Got it. So that's not branding in general. So when let's break it down to the fact of people. So you got your formula laid out. You got a story. What people are seeing, basically how you broke it all down. But so then what you're living out is that's the brand people are going to see.
So when I talk to students about this, or I go to college kids or even high school kids, I tell them when you're trying to build a brand for yourself, remember that everything about you speaks. So everything tells a story.
Right.
So right now, when you walked into this office, that tells you a story.
It told me a good one
about who I am. If you go to my website, that tells you a story about who I am, what I have going on. Whether you go to ashleynorthington.com, denorbrands.com, liveyourbrand.co, that tells you a story about the person that is Ashley Northington. If I give you my business card, that communicates to you in a very specific language. The fact that I have on these see-through socks that have a pattern on it.
They're not TM socks yet, but they will be sometimes. I just saw
We'll make some for women, and I'll get it.
I got it. Yeah, see-through.
Yes.
Yeah, got it.
You know, a trouser sock. That tells you something about me.
Yeah.
The fact that in most days I wear skirts or dresses, and today I have on pants, that tells you something about me. The fact that I have on glasses means that I probably don't see well without them, but that tells you something about me. The fact that you say things about me that are favorable, that tells a story about me. And so all of those things begin to create my brand. It's up to me to manage those things, to make sure that they tell the story I want them to tell, right? So if I decide that I want to be known as a hardworking entrepreneur, then I better present, act, and do things that I believe a hardworking entrepreneur is. And that's going to translate into other things. So a brand is not just about what you put out or what you put on Facebook or wherever. A brand is really the sum of experiences that people have with you. Right. So it's not just this one-dimensional, one platform thing, right? A brand transcends the platform. That's a platform. That's not the brand, right? So it's like, again, it's that fact that everything speaks. What are people saying about you? That's a part of your brand. So this is a fun exercise that I love to do to illustrate this point. So when you get home, or I want you to write down 3 adjectives that you feel about yourself, right? So you might say that you're strong or ambitious or, hardworking, whatever, beautiful. I don't know, whatever your 3 adjectives are. Whatever they are, right? The top 3 adjectives that describe you best, that you feel that you project and live, right? Then call 3 of your friends.
That's what you told me to do that one time. It said, what you're doing,
Call 3 of your friends.
Right.
Okay? And ask them to give them their top adjectives to describe you.
Right.
If they match, then you're probably living your brand. If they don't match, then you probably have some work to do.
So which one do you want to go by? What you say or what everyone else say? But that's what you're portraying, though, right?
Everything speaks.
So what can you do to encourage folks about changing or making it better, making a success, a good brand,
So here's where I feel like a lot of people go wrong.
Okay.
And this is in the area of self-awareness.
Okay.
So oftentimes, this guy that you used an example, he thought that being a fashion person was cool and amazing. And somebody somewhere probably told him, fake it till you make it.
Exactly. They sure do.
Right?
They sure do, yeah.
But
faking can be expensive. Ooh.
Faking can be expensive, and it can get you, what it does is it gets you out of where you need to be.
Right.
It gets you off your path.
Right.
So here's what I want to say about branding, about awareness, and all these things. Stay with me.
Okay.
You have to know who you are.
Right.
You have to know what you're supposed to be doing. And when you know what you're supposed to be doing, it's easier for you to achieve success. Not saying that you're not going to have pitfalls, not saying you're not going to have difficulty. It's going to be easy for you to emote the brand that you want to have.
We've been talking about this.
But what happens?
Yes.
This is what happens.
What happens?
People see things in other folk.
Right.
And they think, I like that. I admire that. I want to be that. And so then they begin to build this facade, trying to become that other thing.
Which is not in their role.
Which is not they're not self-aware enough to know that that's not them. They're supposed to be this. But if you would just give up this facade, you could become excellent.
Yeah.
What happens is people aren't emotionally intelligent enough to really get clear
Right.
on what their own personal giftings are, what their own purpose is. They're not still enough to get clear on their own purpose.
Right.
So they try to create these brands and profit off of stuff that isn't even real, that isn't even authentic to them.
Right.
You have to get clear about who you are. And when you're clear about who you are, all of that other stuff really just falls into place. You don't even have to worry about like being like this super brand manager, because it just emotes. You're living your brand. So it's not about like, when you focus on living your brand, and that's really just being who you say you are, living how you say you live, you don't have to worry about that, because it just is, period. So I don't have to, I'm Ashley. I don't have to do nothing extra to be Ashley. I just got to be Ashley.
Right.
The brand of Ashley is how you ever you experience it and whatever you think about it. And luckily for me, it's amazing.
Look at that. But see, you hit it all on the nose about being successful.
Yeah.
You know, because automatically, like we talked about before, the term success in the dictionary is talking about achieving an actual goal. I mean, you're actually accomplishing a goal.
Sure.
Now, there's nowhere in there that's talking about how much money you've made.
Yeah.
I mean, so success, when it comes down to it, it's all a mindset. But if you know your role, if you know who you are, and you have, you're self-aware with yourself, then you can actually succeed and be successful in whatever you think success is.
Right. You have to define success for yourself.
Right. And it sounds like a book that's going to be coming out called The Mindset of Successful Thinking. That's going to be pretty good. Y'all should check that out at some time when it comes out.
Yeah.
But because the thing is, so that's what we're talking about with Most Moto. The whole idea of Most Moto is having a place of individuals that think just like you, a community that helps build and edify you to be great and successful in what success looks like to you. So we're not trying to, that's where I talk about, you don't really compete. I'm not competing with Ashley, because Ashley's doing a whole different ball game. She's doing what she does, and she's making her brand to make herself grow.
Yeah, you run your own race. Yeah. And so I think that a lot of people are struggling with successes because they're trying to be running somebody else's race instead of focusing on theirs.
They're on the gram.
Right.
And they're living something they're not.
Correct. You know, the popular phrasing is like, don't compare your reality with somebody else's highlight reel or some mumbo jumbo like that. But the principle is good. Like, you can't compare what you really have going on, your race, to someone else's, because you are here for a very specific reason. And you have to get still and get clear about that reason, and then you find success in that. And success doesn't always mean I'm going to make $1 million from building this brand.
There you go.
I'm going to be like super popping on Instagram and have 43 million followers because of this brand. You got to define what happiness really looks like for you, and then success will follow. And I can guarantee that people having 41 million followers on Instagram isn't going to get you there. Like that's not what the goal is, right?
So my last thing before we get ready to go, was it the 3 Ps?
3 Ps.
Tell us the 3 Ps and tell it to them, to the community where it can edify us.
So I think that there are 3 Ps in life that sort of guide us or sustain us. And unfortunately for many people, we get those 3 Ps confused, right? And so those 3 Ps are passion, purpose, and profit. So oftentimes, the popular thing in today's entrepreneurially driven landscape is that you have to follow your passion. You know, follow your passions. Don't live, your life working a 9 to 5, building someone else's dream. Go build your own.
With that voice, the same voice.
It's very woo-woo.
Yeah.
And so that encourages people to follow their myriad of passions, right? So I take me, for example. I am super passionate about having the right shape eyebrow. I'm very passionate about the color purple for various reasons. I'm very passionate about gold. I'm very passionate about communicating to win. I'm very passionate about building brands. I'm passionate about my niece. I'm passionate about fried chicken. I'm passionate about red velvet cupcakes, Reese's peanut butter cups, Coca-Cola, Smart Water, all of these things. But that doesn't mean that it's now my journey and my life's purpose
Right.
to go follow all of these things and try to make money off of eyebrows and red velvet cupcakes and fried chicken and smart wire, right? So I don't. So what happens is though that's what people try to do, and so then they become what I call pilots by day, doctors by night, and then they fry chicken on the weekends and do hair at lunch because they think I'm following my passions and I'm supposed to make money. I'm gonna profit off of these passions, and that's what I've been purposed to do. And then the other popular phrasing is, I have all of these giftings and talents. You can't put me in a box because I'm good at
all of them,
at graphic design, at photography, at website development, at all of these things, all of the things that could be amazing, right? But the news is, all of us super talented.
Yeah.
Every single person on the planet.
You're talented.
Is super talented.
Yeah.
We're just all talented in different ways. But all those talents are not meant to be made money off of.
Right.
And all of those talents aren't necessarily aligned with your purpose.
Yeah.
So the key is to figure out how they all are separated, which boxes they need to be in. Speaking of boxes, let me go back to this. So when we're, talented in all these various different things and we try to pursue them at once, we miss out on opportunities.
Yeah.
Because in order to really be successful, you have to start foundationally with one thing and then build upon that, right? So you have to jump in the photography box and make yourself incredibly aware and popping in the photography box. And then later on, you can lay your own graphic design.
Right.
Because you can't jump in photography and then jump in the graphic design box and then jump in the website box and then the music box, because when people need a photographer, you're not there because you in some other box.
You got a show on the weekend.
Get in the box, right.
Or you cooking your chicken and doing
correct.
Lunch.
Get in the box.
Yeah.
And as I explained to one of my friends, we just had a conversation. There are riches in the niches. Sometimes we think that our profit or our territory is going to be small if we really get really focused. We think, if I really focus on this one thing, I'm missing out on money or I'm missing out on opportunity. When you get super, super focused, that's when you make the most money. So I always say that
you become an expert.
Yes, there are riches in the niches. If we had more time, I would break down the passion, purpose, profit pyramid. I diagram it out, but I'll give.
Is that Illuminati affiliated?
No, it just comes out of the brain of Ashley.
That's good. Yeah.
But you have to. The key is, don't get passion, purpose, and profit confused.
Right.
Your purpose is the reason that you were put here, and I'm sure it's connected to serving others. If you get still and you ask yourself some questions about, like, what do people ask me to do the most, or what am I most happy? I'm happiest when I'm doing X, Y, Z. You'll find some common themes, and that'll lead you to your purpose. Yeah. You'll figure out what is profitable for you based on what people are naturally willing to offer you money for. Like, what's your vocation? Like, what do you do? And sometimes that's connected to your purpose. If you're lucky, it is. Sometimes it's not. And if it's not, that's okay. Then you have to really figure out what you're passionate about. You could be passionate about a myriad of things, and that's okay. But here's where I want to caution you folks. Passion is emotion. Emotions are fleeting. They change. Because one day I could be passionate about Coke. The next day I might be passionate about Pepsi. But if I was one of those people that was so busy following my passions, I would have built some enterprise around Coke. But it changed. I'm not passionate about Coke anymore. Now I'm passionate about Pepsi. Right. So what do I have to do? Do I pivot? Do I close this business, the Coke business, to open up a Pepsi one? You have to separate the emotion. Profit is not emotion. Right. Okay? So you have to, you should be passionate about your purpose. You should have some passion in what you do at work. But you can't burn your candle at both ends following all of your passions. And I think that a lot of people do. Yeah. And I think that a lot of people get discouraged when they're really, really passionate about one thing, but you can't make money at that. Just because you're passionate about something doesn't mean it's supposed to be profitable. You can't monetize everything, and that's okay. You just have to figure out what you're supposed to be doing and run your race. And when you have supreme self-awareness, like we talked about before, that helps you get there. It just helps make that transition a lot easier.
So the 3 P's again were?
Passion, purpose, profit.
And when you actually know your roles, you actually can profit. When you know what you're self-aware, you'll be able to profit.
Absolutely.
So,
and when you're self-aware, your brand is amazing.
Right.
You don't have to do anything extra, but make the platforms to make it shine. You know, produce the platforms to make it shine. You don't have to do anything extra because your brand just is. You're focused on living your brand in an authentic way.
Well, guess what? That's why most motos created, to be able to help inspire and edify other people.
Yeah.
To encourage them to be able to be great, to be able to know what their roles are, and then when you find out what their role is and what your passion is, you have a group of individuals that are going to help encourage you get there. That's accountability.
Yes.
That's accountability. So, hey, remember the mindset of successful thinking, MOTO short for motivation. The true outcome of having a mindset of successful thinking is having an unwavering expectation of successfully achieving a predetermined goal, knowing that the outcome is supposed to happen. I want to thank Ashley for allowing us to come down to DENOR and get in her way and actually take some time out of her busy day, because she truly is busy. And be able to just inspire the community and be able to encourage others and let them know that your brand, what better person to speak about branding. You are a brand. Every single day you wake up, when you do certain things, when people look at you, before you open your mouth, they're communicating what your brand is. So, hey, look, change your life today, but most of all, change yourself. Change your life today, but most of all, change yourself. You have a good day today, and thank you for being a part of Most Moto. I always wanted to do this at the end. When the camera zooms out, that people be talking like, and they got like a little coffee. So when we get bigger, we'll be able to have a little music at the end that we can talk like.
When our platforms get bigger,
when our platforms
not
grow.
our bodies.
Yeah, our bodies. Yes, our platform, not our body. We're trying to decrease and try to go the Al Sharpton route on the body.
Yes.
But I look forward to that day. We'll be able to have some paper in front of us, stack it up like Brian Gumble do, and cross his legs.
I mean, we could do that.
We could do it, but
it wouldn't be authentic.
It wouldn't be authentic because we just faking.
Yep.
That's not the brand.
And that's not it.
Hey, y'all be good today. Thank you for being a part of Most Moto.
Thanks.